computer. Okie doke. Well, good afternoon. So glad to see you, Megan. Thanks so much for joining. Y'all, today we're going to cover quickly a few updates to Smart Learning Suite Online. Really exciting updates that I want to share with you today. Megan is going to ask questions live. Hopefully, if anything comes up, hopefully there won't be a ton of questions. This should be, as we say, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So let me go ahead and I'm going to stop my video and I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay. And let me click share. And Megan, if you don't mind, just let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Okay, awesome. All right, now I'm starting from the Smart Learning Suite Online dashboard at hellosmart.com. But now keep in mind, if you have Google integration with your district, you can start from your Google Drive as well. When we actually get into creating content, it works exactly the same way. You just get there from a different launch location. Okay, so since this is where I started in the creation, this is where I'm going to start from. If you would like to join my class, you are welcome to go to hellosmart.com and use the class ID 986826, but you don't have to do that. I'm going to show you what it looks like from here as well. So, two brand new things that are huge in Smart Learning Suite Online. If you recognize this page, you'll recognize the Add Activities button, which takes us to the area where we can start to create our content from scratch, or to begin with content we already have, like PDF files, notebook files, PowerPoint files, and Google files as well. And then we can begin to smartify our files from here. But the first thing that I want to show you that's brand new is the Manipulatives section in ready-made resources. Now, for those of you who have smart panels, in the whiteboard area of your smart panels, you've had manipulatives for a while, and now those same manipulatives are available in Smart Learning Suite Online. So let's just take a quick look at how this works. I should have picked out one before we got started, but that's okay. I'm going to do sorting shapes. So you just choose the pre-created manipulative and it will automatically load it for you in the editing file on the editing screen in your Smart Learning Suite Online file. So I might call this shapes, for example, and you'll see I might sort them by different. The teacher can define how she wants those to be sorted, and I have the ability to convert this manipulative into an individual handout activity, which you guys already know means that my students can then interact with it live on their device. So look what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start this activity from my teacher screen, but I'm going to open an incognito window and join as a student so you can see what it looks like from the student side. Now, 986-826, whoops, 986-826. Now remember, you can join as a guest when you're live, but if your students are working on an activity or a lesson asynchronously, meaning you're not delivering it live, then you definitely want them to sign in with either their Google or Microsoft account, which means that they can then, their work is saved wherever those accounts save your information. So from the kiddo side, hey Megan.
Does that mean it saves to their Google Drive?
That's correct. Oh. It sure does. If they've logged in with a Google login, it'll save to their Google Drive. If they log in with Microsoft, every district does it a little bit differently, but there's probably a 365 folder somewhere where that's saving that.
Now, what if the teacher wants to go and grade these lessons? Does it save the student work in the SLS online? Can they go back there to grade, or do the kids need to upload it?
Such a great question. Kids do not need to upload it. As a matter of fact, when your students log in, part of the benefit of having them log in, it will save their work individually in the teacher file, as well as in the student's folder, wherever it's located, like on their Google Drive. And I'll show, that's a great question. I'll show you what that looks like. But you can see here what this particular manipulative looks like. It's just drag and drop, right? So now when my kid is done, I click done. I X out of my student view. Now let's take a look. I'm back on the teacher screen, and Megan, this is exactly what you asked. When I click on student progress, all of my kiddos that are logged in, remember how when I logged in I said kiddo, all my kiddos work is available at that point. And not only can I see it, but I can provide feedback like,
oh, that's awesome,
great job, and I can add an image to their work, and then the next time my kids go back in there, they can see my feedback as well. So I have the ability to see their work live or asynchronously, where we're in there at a different time, and provide that immediate feedback or that asynchronous feedback. Pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. That's great for remote learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, of course, every district is doing it a little bit different in Alabama. Now you guys are back full time, right?
Starting on Monday, we are.
Starting on Monday, that's right. So you've been doing an AB schedule.
Yes.
So you have everything going, live,
Yes.
remote, and live distance, right?
And yes, and we have virtual students that are all virtual as well.
Yes, so this really can meet the need for all of those scenarios, which is great. And because it's a really kind of a steady Eddie platform, it's also something when life goes back to normal, hopefully sooner than later, and we're all back in the classroom. Let's face it, everybody now has devices, right? We know every student is going to have a device from here on out, because, you know, who knows when this might happen again. So this really gives teachers a great opportunity to take advantage of those devices in the classroom when things are back to normal as well. So that's the first big update. I want to show you what it looks like if you start from your Google Drive. I have a PDF file here in my Google Drive, and if I right click on it and go to open with Smart Learning Suite, at this point it will look exactly the same as it did on the SLSO dashboard that you would use if you were a Microsoft user. And now we actually have Teams integration as well. So if districts are using Teams for their distance learning, they can also have their administrator add that Smart Learning Suite Online app and do all of this from inside of Teams as well. But you'll see here, if I click on my blue button, boom, there are my manipulatives. And so it works exactly the same way. Okay, doke. So that's the first thing. That's the first big new piece. The second new piece is my favorite. Megan, this won't surprise you at all. You know, with my background in early literacy instruction, this is a really powerful tool. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to show you one that I have already created. So when I click on Add Activities, I can import a resource that already exists somewhere on my computer. I have quite a few PDF files that I've saved here and there. So I go ahead and I upload that PDF file or notebook file or PowerPoint file, or again, a Google file type. And one of the most sought after capabilities that we've heard is the ability to add audio to this file. So I may want my audio just to tell my kids, hey. I may want to give them instructions. I may, for my pre and emerging readers, as this worksheet would be targeted for, want to provide some guidelines, including a reminder of what, since we're working on B words, what B sounds like, right? So now you'll see down in the bottom left-hand corner by my big blue plus sign, I now have a head with a speaker. And as soon as I click that, And of course, y'all, the lawnmower started right outside of my house when I started recording this. But as soon as I click on that head, it opens up Add Instructional Audio, and I simply click Start Recording. And I could say, hey guys, today we're working on B words, B words. So I want you to complete the worksheet by circling all the words that begin with B, and then coloring in the items in the picture that begin with B. I have the ability to pause and review. You'll see I can go back and forward, I can continue recording, I can delete and start over, and just that quickly, I have now added this audio to this worksheet. So let's take a look at what that looks like from the student view. I click on Start. Now again, I'm going to open an incognito window, which if you remember, it just allows me to kind of see things from the student view. From the student view, 986-826. This isn't something, this is nothing that a teacher would need to do. I'm just doing it so I can show you what it looks like from the student view. And you'll notice there's still the start button because it's a handout, but look up here in the top right-hand corner. As soon as I click play, now, I actually started a different file. I started that file I mentioned I had created earlier today, but it works exactly the same way. So students have access to the audio even while, and this is maybe one of my favorite parts, even while the worksheet is open. My kiddos can pause it and go back and forward as needed to receive whatever instruction, whatever prompt, whatever reminders they need to access while they're working on the worksheet. Pretty cool? Awesome. So those two pieces are brand spanking new for Smart Learning Suite Online. You now have the ability, whether you're starting from Microsoft Teams, whether you're starting in the Smart Learning Suite Online dashboard, whether you're starting from Google Drive, you have the ability to access brand new manipulatives and make those available to your students in a live classroom setting, whether in person or remote, or asynchronously, where you put a copy of this lesson in Google Classroom, for example, or in Schoology, and they access it at home later in the day or the next day. You also have the ability to add audio, to simply add audio to anything that you create in Smart Learning Suite Online. Now you'll notice there is a 5-minute limit on audio, and that's very purposeful. The reason is so that the files don't become too large to manage. So I'm going to have a lot of people that ask me, well, how do you, how do you get, if I have more than 5 minutes worth of audio? Well, you just add another page. You just want to break it up so the files don't become so large and overwhelming that storage becomes an issue. So hopefully you are as excited about these updates as I am. And if you have any questions, of course, hopefully you know how to reach me, Christy at academictechinc.com, Christy at academictechinc.com, CHRISTY at academictechinc.com. I'm going to post this on the YouTube channel as well. Keep an eye out for any updates. I'll try to post there as well. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Christy.